Back with How to Homeschool My Child. I'm going to get this down because I'm going to have to be showing y'all things. Today we're going to talk about eat your way through holiday homeschool. Oh, we may just be live now. Start all over and you may get a repeat. This is Carrie Beck with How to Homeschool My Child. I'm excited that you're here. We're going to be talking, I'm going to be showing you how you can make some fun snacks to teach your kids more about Thanksgiving. To sort of it's called Eat Your Way Through Holiday Homeschool, I think. I will show you what these snacks are, then I'm going to show you the books, and then I'm going to show you how to make them. I hope they don't all fall, but anyway, here's what I have. Let's pull it down a little bit so you can see. Okay, so we got a few turkeys, we got a teepee, there we go. We got a pilgrim hat, we have a Mayflower, we have all sorts of fun things that we're going to be making today. I always felt like if I could tie food into homeschooling, my kids would pay a little bit more attention. So that is why we're making all the fun food. I'm going to start with some books and then we'll make one of these. So let's just see what we have here. Okay, these are a few books for elementary kids. One of them is Stories of the Pilgrims, and they're just short little stories, and at the end of each one are some questions. Your kids might be old enough to read it on their own, or you may read it aloud. The other two, these are some of our favorites, and I just realized I left one of them in the living room, so I'm going to have to go back over there and get it. We have Samuel Eaton's Day and Sarah Morton's Day. And as you read through these, your kids are going to discover things about about what the kids were like. And so when you're studying the Pilgrims, one of the very, very, very simple snacks you can make is you can make a cookie pilgrim hat. Very simple. All you need are cookies and Reese's. Now, there's nothing healthy in here. So if you don't eat sugar, then this probably isn't for you. But here we go. So I've got the cookie. It's just a striped kind, and they have chocolate on the bottom. And then I just bought some mini Reese's so your kids can do this. Some of these, I can guarantee you preschoolers can make them. But I can also tell you that high schoolers like to eat them, and so they will make them. And then all you really need to do is put a little bit of frosting on the bottom of the Reese's. I'm going to pull this down a little bit so I can hold it up. So we've got that, and then really you just put it like this, and you've made a pilgrim hat. Now, I bought some frosting. If you wanted to, you could tip it around the edge and put the little buckle on it, but I bought the wrong kind. It's the fat kind, so it won't work. So that is a simple little pilgrim hat that you can make when you are reading books about the Pilgrims like Samuel Eaton, Sarah Morton's Day. Now, here's another one. This is the one I was going to go get, but I won't. This series here has a book about Indians, and it's over in the living room, but no, I'm not going to run over there. And it's the same thing. These are true stories, and they're pictures that they've taken since then just to illustrate, but they're dressed up like they would have been dressed up then. I will say, I did this last week with my granddaughters, and I read them Sarah Morton's Day for the first time, and the 6-year-old was fascinated. We got to the second page, and it's showing all the different underclothes, the petticoat, the stockings, the garters, another petticoat, waistcoat, all this stuff. But she was so fascinated with this and roll my bedding into the corner that they had to actually roll their bedding out. They couldn't just keep their bed out all day long. So, okay, the next one we're going to talk about are Indians. So the Pilgrims came over, and we had them learning from the Indians. So there is a Squanto book. I don't have it. I used to own it, but it's a great book, and that would be one that I would be sure to use with your kids. Here are some Pocahontas books as well. I know that's not quite the same time period, but these would be books you can read. And then you could read the one in that Samuel Eaton series. Now, here is a little Indian teepee. And we made these last year with my granddaughter, so even little kids can make it. And I'm going to show you how you do it. You're going to need a cone. You will need, I would use a plate of sprinkles, and I'll show you why in a minute. And you need some pretzels and your frosting. So the first thing I would do is I put the frosting, now if your kids are older, they can do this. Now the first thing you need to do is break off the top of the cone, and you need to have a hole there so you can stick your sticks in it, your pretzel sticks. And I don't want to bust the whole thing. Oh, of course it's not going to work because We're videoing. Okay, I think I got a hole in there. Let me just use the scissors and make a hole. So, all right. But this is the part Mom probably needs to do, especially if you have elementary kids. There we go. All right, there's a big hole. Now, the first thing you want to do is you're going to put some frosting on the top, and I would put it a little bit around, and then you're going to want to put frosting all the way around the bottom. Not necessarily on the bottom, but around, I'm sorry, not holding it up very well. You're going to want to put it all the way around here. Because what you're going to then do is your kids, and depending on your ages, your kids may be able to make this all completely by themselves, but you take your cone and then you just roll it in the sprinkles and it will make it. And then you let your kids roll the other end. And it's easier to roll on a plate than a bowl. So that is why I have the plate. So you've got all the little decorations now on here. The part that my grandkids couldn't do, but probably your older kids could, is you take your pretzel, I break them in half, dip them in the frosting, and then poke them in. Poke them in there. I poked it too far. So I would put one in, and then I would get a lot of frosting and put it next to the other one, and it sort of stays because it's stuck in the frosting more than in the hole. Well, let's just get a little more frosting and glue it together. There we go. So you've got your sticks. That may be too tall a stick. And then you've got your cone, and you've just made a teepee. So that is a fun one to make as well. So those, I would use the Squanto books. You could use the Pocahontas. You could use the Indian book that goes with this series. And I forgot to tell you, this series is by Kate Waters. There's a boat one, there's the boy and the girl, and the Indian one. Great series. Okay, now we're going to go to the Mayflower. And so now, this is an older kid's book. It's Voyage to the Freedom, but it's a good story of telling what's going on as they crossed in 1620. If you have younger kids, you may want to read this book if you're a kid on the Mayflower. And it basically just tells the story, and then there's a little information. Fire away, so it tells about cannons. Here's another one, how'd they find their way, and they're using the stars. So it's a good book. In the back, they actually have a map, a timeline, and a little art. Where's that art project? There's an art project. No, that's in the other book. So if you are on the Mayflower, this is what you could do. So let's make a Mayflower. Super easy. I'm not even going to demonstrate. You go buy a Twinkie, and then you use pretzels, and then I just use these candied slices. And the thing you need to do is you need to put the slice on the pretzel first and then poke it. And I did 3 because on here there were little spaces, the dots where the frosting is inside. And so I just put 3, and I did them at different levels. So that's your Mayflower, and that would be fun. All right, now we've got a lot of turkeys to make, so I'm going to show you that. Here's what I would use. The books that I would consider using, this is an older elementary, The Landing of the Pilgrims. That's a good one. This is Homes in the Wilderness, and this is actually William Bradford's journal, or Pilgrim's Journal, but it's been edited for younger kids. So, and there's lots of pictures. This might be something you read aloud next week to the kids, and they would get the whole story of what's gone on in 1620. And then this is a picture book, and I actually read this to my grandkids, and this is the story of the first Thanksgiving. There are lots of great books out there, and by the time I got to the library, I couldn't get all the ones that I really wanted. But this is a nice one because it's very colorful, but it's very short on each page. And you can talk about the pictures. You can read it. Here's a picture of Squanto, teaching them how to grow corn and what to do with their fruit and their dried seeds and all of that kind of stuff. One thing I like about this, if you've watched any of my videos, is everything goes back to God on this one. And so when they sit down to talk, where is it? Yes, with songs and prayers, the joyful feast began. But it's all about giving praise to God. And then at the end, there is a little art, like you could learn how to draw this, and it's giving you the squares that you could actually do this little art activity and make puppets as well. And there's several different people that they're going to show you how to make out of the story. So when we studied the feast, we talked about turkeys. And so I'm going to show you some turkeys, and then I'm going to show you Mayflower, what is it called? Mayflower Munch. And it's sort of a fun way to sort of pull all of this together. So first Thanksgiving Pilgrim. Let's do this one. We made this one last week. I changed it up a bit. This is an apple turkey. Yeah, I had a hard time. You're really supposed to use a Tootsie Roll, and I don't know where they sell Tootsie Rolls. I've been to Walmart's, I've been to H-E-B's, the grocery stores, different grocery stores. I guess people don't sell Tootsie Rolls, or maybe they only sell them in October and Halloween. Super easy. I'll show you how to do it, but even kids, my 3-year-old granddaughter was able to do this. They were also out of gumdrops at Walmart last week, so I bought something else that's the same shape, but they were hard to get on the toothpick. So basically what we're going to do is take your apple, and then for what I did with the kids is actually I'm going to use these. No, I'm going to use these. You need to do your, where'd it go? You need to do your gumdrops first. So they could just push these little gumdrops all the way on. And depending on your kid's age, they could put them in the apple. One of mine needed help, but you're just going to put them around the back like this and make that. I'm not going to do all of them right now. The next thing you do is you can pick your fruit slice. Now these were too long, so I had to cut the toothpicks off to make them a little bit shorter. So again, they put the gumdrop on the toothpick first, and then you just put it on the side for the turkey wings. If I could get the hole to go again. There you go. And then you just have to push till you get it far enough in. Anyway, so that's that. Now here's the more difficult part, and that was the head. I ended up using licorice, and I wanted to put the eyes on, so I cut 2 very tiny pieces of licorice, and then I take each one of those and I'm going to put them on the apple with a toothpick. So I just take this one here and put it around here for the head. Sometimes it gets stuck in the middle, so we'll go down a little bit further. That may not work either. Okay, we're going to do that. Let's do. And then take the other one here. Let's see if we can get it. You want to put the second one right next to it, because what's going to happen is, these toothpicks, I'm going to get different toothpicks. That leads me to tell you, not all toothpicks are equal. Don't buy the flat toothpicks. They're really wimpy and they don't do anything. I bought these in a little thing, and what I like about them is they're pointed on one end and they're flat on the other, and they're pretty sturdy, so you can actually get them in and out. And I've got this one stuck. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to put let me get this all the way down. Never mind. We're just going to do it this way, and if the toothpick sticks out, you could fix it yourself, but I'm just not going to take the time to do all this. So I put the licorice on here like this, and then I'm going to put just a little bit of frosting right on the end. And then you can buy these eyeballs I bought them at the grocery store, and you can use them. We've used them for everything. So you take the little eyeball, and then you just put it on the frosting area, just like that. I'm not going to put the other one on. I'm sort of messing up. You can see the one that's finished. Next, we need to get the nose. So what I did for the nose is this. I actually, again, I'm going to break this toothpick in half. Right underneath the eyes, you can put your toothpick in here, and you want it pretty close so there's hardly anything showing out of it. And then I just took my candy corn and put it right there, and so it's there like that. This one, the one I made before y'all, was a lot easier. So that's what it's going to look like. You've got your toothpick holding the candy corn, it's really hard to put icing on the apple because the apple gets cold and wet, and so the icing won't hold it. So that's why you need toothpicks to put everything on. And then the eyes are here. Anyway, it's just a cute little fun turkey. So that is another one. Now let's make our donut turkey. And so these are just mini donuts that I bought. The one thing I didn't do is I didn't buy iced ones. The iced ones will let your eyeballs stick without having to add frosting. So that's what I would do, is use buy iced ones. Here's my donut. Okay, so the other thing I learned, and we learned this last week, is I put the toothpicks in for the kids. First we did them up and down and it didn't look good, so I would encourage you to put them at an angle like this, and it just looks a little more like feathers. And then your kids can actually, all they have to do is, you're going to take Fruit Loops and let the kids put the Fruit Loops on for feathers. And mine did all different color designs and everything. But anyway, so that's how they're going to start, like that. Then we want to put the eyes, where are my eyes? Here. So you're just going to, if you had frosting, they would stick really well, but I'm going to put a little bit of frosting on just so they do. And then we need a nose. Now for the candy corn nose, what I did is I cut off the white because it looked really weird and too big. So I just broke off the white, and then I put it, you just stick it in the donut, and there it is. Now I'm not going to do the whole thing. Super simple and easy. This could be breakfast one morning, but this is what they end up looking like. Okay, sort of cute. I just color coded them all. All right, now we have our family favorite. We've been making this for probably 30 years. Actually, 31. Okay, so maybe 28 years. And these are Oreo turkeys. And seriously, I will show you this. I pulled this. This is a picture in my living room. And this is the girls when they were in college and their cousins were there. And those are the little turkeys that they had made for Thanksgiving. And so it didn't matter how old they were, we were making those turkeys. And if I didn't, these are their cousins right here, Anna and Kaylin and Catherine. Catherine's now in college. She was over here today taking a test. But they're always like, Aunt Carrie, you forgot this, or whatever, if I have forgotten to bring something we've done every year. Here is the turkey. It's an Oreo. Super easy to make. So what you're going to do is this. You take your Oreo and you're going to open it up, and then you're going to I put frosting and cover it up so it's all chocolate, it's all black or brown or whatever color it is. So I've got that. Then I need some on this one that's blank too. So you need to put frosting on both sides. Now, once you do this, and it depends on your kids' ages, obviously mine can do it all right now, but the first thing you want to do is put the candy corn on so that you make the feathers. And you can put however many feathers you want. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you do this with little kids, their candy corn is going to be this way and that way and sticking off, but that doesn't really matter. It's the process. That's another thing. When you make these, if your kids' things don't look right, don't get upset with them. They're not supposed to look like Pinterest. These are kids. It's the process of reading and talking about the books and then doing a fun activity with them. Those are memories. I can guarantee you right now, this is one of my kids' memories from Thanksgiving. And here, we even have documented it with this picture. So we've got the feathers on. You're going to take this and you're going to put it on the other one. Let's see. So it's standing up. And what helps hold it on place is you're going to get a malt ball, and you're going to put the malt ball right there. And then we need a red hot. And my grandkids don't like red hots. I'm like, we're just putting it on for decoration. No, it's too hot. Anyway, you put a little red hot right there for the gobble. And there you have your little Oreo turkey. So those are all the individual things. Now I want to end up with this Mayflower Munch. And I have this made. I'll put a link to where you can get this. But this is the Mayflower Munch. And I'm going to show you what it is. Let's see. You can do it a few ways. You could do it in a Ziploc. This is just a snack Ziploc that has all the pieces. And so we have a cracker for the hardtack. When they were on the Mayflower, a lot of times they would just get eaten hard biscuits. The first winter was very brutal, and it was cold, 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 and many people died. And so we have marshmallows for the snow. They didn't know how to do things over there. They knew how to fish, so we have some goldfish in there. But we have some animal crackers in here to represent the wild animals that they began to eat for their meals. Squanto also taught them how to plant corn, so you have some popcorn in here as well. And then we have some raisins, because he also taught them how to gather seeds and fruits and how to dry them. So you could put it individually, or the other thing you could do is just take cups like this. I already have the popcorn in one. And where are all my stuff? We've got the animal crackers. We're going to put goldfish in one. We need some marshmallows in another one. And then what you could do, you can have them all in these cups, and they can make them themselves. I don't have everything, but you could put all the cups out like this. And then when you're done, you can either have them make it individually, or you could just make some kind of like a Chex Mix. You just dump it all in here together and shake it up, and then you've got your whole marshmallow Mayflower Munch that's like this. And each of the pieces are representing part of the story of the Mayflower and the Pilgrims being here up into the Thanksgiving. The one thing I forgot to buy yesterday were bugles. I love the idea of bugles because that's like your horn of plenty, and that's the feast. So this can sort of tell you what everything stands for, and you can make your own little munch thing. Now, and I will put a link to where this is. Just to finish out, let me just show you real quickly what we have, and in case you're just coming in late, we read a bunch of books here. We've got stories. We have an apple turkey. We have the Mayflower. We have a teepee like Squanto. We have our pilgrim hat cookie. We have our donut. Oh, it's hard to do this backwards. You have our donut turkey, and then we have our Oreo turkey as well. So those are just some fun things. I was going to do Christmas and Thanksgiving, but there were just too many ideas here. So what I'm going to do is the week after Thanksgiving is my week to be a featured vendor. So I will be back to share some fun things like this that we did, and how you can make, and you know, a lot of people make gingerbread houses. We're going to make a graham cracker nativity scene, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I've done this while our kids have done it. I've had young kids over. I've babysat so their moms could go off and do Christmas shopping by themselves, and they've done it. It is a really fun activity. So thanks for spending time with me. I am Carrie Beck with How to Homeschool My Child. I will put a link to the PDF so that you can have that as well. Y'all have a great day.